Hey, this is Notser, and today we're talking about the end of Rank Season 12, retrospective. I just reached Rank 1 last night. Yes, it was a delay in reaching it, but I was sick and I saw my family, and it's no one's fault but my own. But going through the 12th rank season with the CV rework and also the rentals, and then on top of that, going through basically confirming that out of frustration, any player is willing to do anything to get a W. And I was playing rank mostly with maybe a 5 or 10 second delay from Twitch. And it was very easy to reach rank 5 initially. And then once I came back and started working through rank 5, it all of a sudden became win 1, lose 1, save a star, win 1, lose 1, save a star. And you would lose 2, and it would just be out of your control too. You know, sometimes your team would just take a terrible strategy, and I was in a DD. Well, what can I do when my team takes a terrible strategy and I can't get any damage done on targets because I'm a DD? You don't save your star, and you definitely lose it. So the whole process was definitely frustrating, and I wanted to share my thoughts on it as a whole. So obviously, I reached rank 1, and my personal impressions on rank was that getting to rank 5, not a problem. I was able to easily do that with my Des Moines and a couple other ships. Honestly, getting to rank 5, I could play any ship I wanted. But once I got into rank 5, it didn't matter what ship I played. I was seemingly not making any progress and was like, this just can't happen. Why is this not working out? Am I really this bad? Like, I can't carry for my team someone who plays this game literally for a living to try and, help everyone improve at it and inform you on future release. How can I not win the game for my team with all the knowledge that I have? It's not that I'm a great player, but I have so much experience that I've seen almost every situation. I should know what to do, theoretically, right? And it was just so frustrating. So on the final night, I basically broke down and put a 3-minute delay. And all of a sudden, I was winning every game. And you might be going, oh, well, stream's not going to, If you were stuck in rank, and it was the last day or two of it, and you were just going up, going down, going up, going down, you would do whatever it takes to get this done, because it's just too frustrating, and it's taking too much of your time. You want that steal so you can unlock those ships because they're supposed to be really cool and worth it, right? The rewards are pretty great. It's just, is it worth it through all the frustration? Well, no. So I guarantee you at least one player almost every game on the enemy team would have some bit of information about my position when I was streaming with no delay. And maybe they would just communicate, there's going to be a DD or watch for a DD. I would always find myself in a situation where, man, this person has a really convenient spot. They were just perfectly placed to counter my strategy. And it's not that they're using it in real time, it's just that they know that the generic spawn and the direction I'm headed, oh, well, if a DD is headed out towards a base, clearly he wants to try and capture it. A radar ship would be a good counter. That's basically what I would find myself in a lot of times. It would just be very coincidental that the situation was perfect for the enemy team. That happens sometimes, absolutely. But it was clear once the delay was put on, something else was occurring, and that's what they should do. If I'm being completely honest, they should take every opportunity they can so that they can give themselves a chance to win. That's just what you should do. If you're not doing that, then you are at a disadvantage. So I don't fault them at all, but it absolutely was occurring. And from my point of view as a streamer, it just sucks that I can't in real time communicate my strategy to viewers and for it not to be used against me. I would love to try and help you guys improve, and it feels like real-time rank streaming is just not possible. People take it too seriously, and it becomes too competitive to the point where it's really difficult to work through that and to share it in real time without, just... I even had my minimap cover the entire time, but there was still enough information, just basic information, that they could work through, trying to give their team the best chance to succeed by placing certain ships on certain flanks that would invariably run into a ship that they're better against than I could possibly compensate for. So that was my personal experience with rank. Never again am I not using delay. It was just so much easier. I can't communicate how much more easier it was with a delay. As a control, I was playing the daring the entire time. But what I would do is, before the delay and the daring, I would go off towards a base, and, there'd be a radar Des Moines that would aggressively round the corner right as I would get there, almost perfectly timed, or place themselves in a position to keep me radar spotted, and then there would be another radar spot, and then be another radar spot. It would just very, very good team effort to wipe me out. But once I put the delay on, I would sail over to a base, and the radar Des Moines wasn't guaranteed to be on the same flank, or the Moskva wasn't positioned 12 kilometers away from the objective that I was headed off to. Just little things that can be the difference between winning and losing. They were now in my favor, and it showed. I basically won every single game when I used my delay. So I'm never going to not have the delay. But on top of, rank and my personal frustration with just, biting the bullet and doing my delay, you had the CVs and you had rentals. Now, I didn't have issue with the rentals. I played with some rental players that they were better than me in those rentals. They were playing Conquerors, ships that were strong in the meta and strong at saving the star, because the aircraft carrier, if it was good, could guarantee his star was saved every game. And that is the biggest issue with the carrier. It was guaranteed, if it was a good player, to save their star or win the game. They were never not going to be in that position, so playing with the carrier, it was futile to try and do this for yourself. You yourself, watching your friendly carrier, you're sort of kind of rooting against him, but then you're rooting for him. You want him to succeed strong enough that you win, but once it's a loss, you don't want him to do anything except lose every aircraft carrier squadron, every single strike, because that's the only hope you have of saving your star and not losing progress. And this is just what the whole season was, is you would get into a game, and if you weren't that carrier, you probably aren't saving your star. And even if you were in a game without a carrier, there was someone else saving their star even harder than you could possibly do. There's always a bigger fish, right? So I really think Wargaming, you've got to move away from the star saving mechanic. I just don't know how you can keep it balanced. That's one of the biggest issues with the carrier. It wasn't that they did massive damage to everyone and killed them instantly. It was they basically were guaranteed a star being saved every game they were in. How are the other classes supposed to compete with that? It's basically like a reward for only carriers when they're in the game. A lot of times players would just dodge carrier games because they knew they had no chance. I would do this too. Dodge carrier games because they knew they had no chance of saving their star or being successful with the build they had. The carrier itself isn't imbalanced, but what the carrier does in the mechanics of the game is imbalanced. The global spotting, the ability to do damage to a player, even if he's doing everything he can to fight against you, in the effort to balance it, Wargaming has allowed the carrier to sort of ignore a lot of defenses. And even if the carrier isn't ignoring the defenses, you've got to find a player who has spec'd significantly in anti-air, to the point where they are a detriment in other aspects of the game. And if they were to get in a game with no carrier, as many of you did, those were wasted points. So in order to min-max properly, you basically had to have an anti-carrier ship and then an anti-everything else ship that was min-maxed in order to really excel. So, for the carrier, they don't have to do that. They can play the same ship and min-max it, and they don't have to consider that they're getting into a bad situation. And then for the rental situation, it sucks that Wargaming felt the need to announce the fact that they're rentals, because that is really the biggest issue with it. If they would have just, kept their name normal, it wouldn't have been a big deal. I played with plenty of rentals that played great. So those are the regrets. I hope that they either hide that the rental exists or don't use them at all. And then I really need Wargaming to be honest with themselves and fix the carrier, fix the AA, fix all of that before they place them in another rank season. Speaking of rank season, that Kremlin game was pretty good. We came back and we won it. The enemy team almost won it, but they just couldn't hide themselves long enough. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to check out more of my content, you can click the most recent and the most relevant uploads. You can subscribe to my channel. We do daily World of Warship videos, first impressions, how-to, reviews, news related. My recruiter invitation is on the screen. It's for North America. I stream at twitch.tv/Notser. Thank you. Have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time.